Hey guys, it's me. I am just out of Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, and I'll have to apologize because I'll probably have to make this quick. I'm on quite a time crunch. We start filming the movie tomorrow, and there's a bunch of stuff that we got to do today. Like I gotta go to the airport here in a little bit. But anyway, so it was actually like I'm looking at the times for when this movie was playing, and believe me, I checked every single day to see if there was going to be a midnight screening for it, and just nothing ever popped up, and I was heartbroken. So I'm looking at the times on when the movie's going to start, because if I don't see it this afternoon, then I would have to wait until like Tuesday, and I'm not waiting 5 days to see a new Nick Cage movie. And so I saw it was like 10:30 in the morning. There's a showing, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fucking get up early. I'm gonna set the alarm, and I'm gonna go see a movie at 10:30 in the morning, and popcorn is gonna be my breakfast. And then I overslept. I got up at like 12:30, and I go to talk to Jillian because she's like doing a heavy production on the movie, and I'm like, there's a 2:30 showing. Do I have time to go see it? She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, it's only like 90 minutes. I'll go see it, and I'll do the video in the parking lot. She's like, oh, okay. So I go see it. So I go see it by myself. And I was really looking forward to this one. And I didn't even like the first one. But with the combination of Nick Cage, Neville Diamond Taylor, and a bunch of other people are in this. With Christopher Lambert popping up in it and stuff like that, I'm like, I think I'm gonna like this one. And I love the trailers for it too. So I'm like, tonally, this looks like completely different. And I love being excited to see a Nicolas Cage movie, because with like Trespass and Seeking Justice, like, if Nick Cage wasn't in this, I probably wouldn't have seen those two movies. Like, I'm just watching those two movies just because Nicolas Cage is in it. This one, of course, I'm seeing it because Nicolas Cage is in it, but it looks like a fun-ass Nicolas Cage movie. And you know what? Dear God, it was a fucking fun-ass Nicolas Cage movie. I loved this fucking movie. I had a blast with this goddamn thing. And I was online earlier, and this thing's probably got like a 10% or below on fucking Rotten Tomatoes. Like, really? Are you that fucking stuck up, movie critics? Seriously, Jesus fucking Christ. This movie was a damn fucking good time. It's crazy how much better this is than the first one. Because I didn't care much for the first one. I mean, I liked Nicolas Cage in the first one, but this one was just a fucking blast. And that's exactly what it's trying to do. It just wants to entertain the fuck out of you. And it did. The first one was... Who's the guy who directed the first one? Mark Stevenson or something like that? Yeah, that was his Ghost Rider. This is the fucking Crank guy's Ghost Rider. It has such a sense of humor. It's funny. It's got a lot of fucking action. It's got some good music to it. I just dug it. And you know, it feels like, watching the movie, I'm watching this thing, I'm like, this really feels like a 70s road movie. Because it really is a road movie. And I dug that about it. There's some great action sequences on the fucking, like, you know, desert highways and shit like that, and also with like the satanic cults and shit. So really, there's parts of it where it's like Ghost Rider crossed with Drive Angry, and that's cool. And I'm sure I'm gonna get a fucking novel written to me about why the movie sucks, but I don't care. I liked the fucking movie. Nicolas Cage is having a great time in this thing. And when Nicolas Cage has a great time, the audience has a great time. Nicolas Cage has the power to save a bad movie, to make a bad movie watchable just simply for being awesome Nick Cage. And this isn't a bad movie. This isn't like I'm entertained because it's The Wicker Man and Nicolas Cage had a great time in it. No. Nicolas Cage has a great time in this movie, and I still maintain this is a solid fucking action movie. But yeah, when you get down to the plot and stuff like that, it's a road flick. Nicolas Cage is protecting a mother and her child because the devil and the devil's men want the child to basically become the Antichrist. So that's a movie. It's a chase movie, and I dug it. If there was some stuff I didn't like about it, the kid is questionable, but whatever. This movie needed way more Christopher Lambert in it. Way more Christopher. Seriously, like, the movie is awesome, and then like an hour into the movie, you're like, man, this is a really awesome movie. And then to make it more awesome, Christopher Lambert shows up as a tattooed-faced monk. And he's in it for like 3 minutes. He's in the movie for 3 minutes. And like it sets it up to where he's like gonna be like a bad guy. Well, I mean, he does kind of turn out to be a bad guy, but then they get rid of him pretty quick. So that was disappointing. The guy who played Cardigan, I think the character's name was Cardigan. They could have gotten someone a lot more intimidating than that guy was. The guy looks like a cross between Jim Carrey and Kurt Russell. And hell, Jim Carrey and Kurt Russell would have been much better in the role. But he's like, the way he talks in it is sort of like, I think they really wanted Steven Dorff for this. And that would have been cool. But he's not very intimidating. When he turns into the Decayer, he gets pretty fun. He gets turned into this villain who decays things by touch. Except for Twinkies. He can't decay Twinkies. The movie has a really good sense of humor. Like, when funny stuff happens in the movie, it's supposed to be funny. And it is. I legitimately laughed quite a bit in this thing. Like, the pissing fire thing I thought was handled well and really funny. And Nicolas Cage has some awesome Nick Cage freakout moments in it. There's a part in this movie where Cage is interrogating a guy, and he's threatening him by threatening to turn into the writer. So he's, in his eyes, he's sort of turning into the writer, and he's, I will steal your soul! And it's awesome. Oh shit, I almost spilled my fucking, this is a small. They always ask me if I'm gonna upgrade to a medium, because upgrading to a medium is free, but I'm like, I can't even finish the small. Like, the medium is like the equivalent of a McDonald's supersized. Okay, anyway, that was a tangent. Virtually everything about this movie is better than the first one. The portrayal of Johnny Blaze is a lot different here. It's a little darker. I mean, yeah, there are those Nick Cage freakout moments, which are still awesome. Like, in the first one, he did like the Elvis thing, which I thought was the only entertaining thing about the first one. He doesn't do that here, which in this would have felt out of place. He doesn't really do that here, so I like the portrayal of Johnny Blaze better. I did overall, I mean, because the Decayer guy isn't the only villain in the movie, by far. So, most of the other villains I liked a lot in this. I like the relationship between Johnny Blaze and the kid. In fact, I would have liked to have seen a lot more of that. Visually, the movie is stunning. The 3D is really good. I really like the 3D in this thing. Of course, I am having come off episode 1 3D, which was, I still maintain, is the worst I've ever seen. I like the 3D in this movie. I mean, it didn't get as cartoonish with it as Drive Angry, but it's still really good looking 3D. I liked the side characters in this better than the first. The visual effects, the fucking visual effects. When the writer first turns up in the movie, it is pretty much just awesomely gloating about how much better the effects are in this than they are in the first one. The writer is actually fucking intimidating in this one, and not really silly like in the first one. Like, the writer's fucking intense in this thing, and pretty scary at times. Like, when he first turns up in the movie, seriously, it just kicks the ass of the visual effects in the first one. And, what else can I fucking say about it? Like I said, I had a rockin' good time with this thing, and I hope this movie does well. I do. I hope this movie does well. So, aside from that, I highly recommend the movie. I do highly recommend the movie. Even if you didn't like the first one, because I didn't like the first one. And this movie really is kind of its own separate entity. It honestly is. You so do not have to have seen the first one to have seen this movie. Which works out because the first one wasn't very good. This so makes up for Trespass and Seeking Justice. I wouldn't mind seeing this thing again. I know there are going to be people who don't like this movie, but hey, the movie is supposed to be fun, and it was fucking fun. You know, it's a fun-ass Nicolas Cage action movie, so anyway, I should probably get going. I wish I could talk about this movie more. I wish I had Brian, Sarah, Jillian, and all, because we're all huge Nicolas Cage fans, and I had to go see it at this time. Otherwise this video would have been all of us sitting here and talking about the movie, but unfortunately everyone's at work. I had to go see a way afternoon show. So anyway, I will get this posted, and you should know that now if you're watching it. And then I'll pop up some video, some vlogs on the making of the movie. So I'll see you guys later.